Welcome to our lesson today on the parabola equation, specifically talking about the focus and directrix. So a couple notes before we do some examples. So the first thing is the focus is a fixed point that lies on the axis of symmetry and helps determine the opening, which way your graph opens, up, down, left, or right. The directrix is a fixed line. So the focus is a fixed point. Directrix is a fixed line used to define the parabola. It shows which way, it also helps show which way the parabola opens. The parabola will never cross over the directrix. And then finally we have the p-value is the distance between the focus and the vertex, and the directrix and the vertex. So if you look at a couple examples, we have focus, vertex, directrix over here. So we see this parabola opening down on the left. We have our directrix up here, and we can see our p-value is negative because from directrix to the vertex we are moving down, and then our vertex opens up around the focus. On the right-hand side, the p-value is positive because the directrix is below it and we're moving up to the vertex. The distance between the focus and vertex is the same as the distance between the vertex and directrix. The vertex is exactly halfway. So first step what we do is we always graph the information. Then we find our vertex if it's not given, hk. Then we find our p-value. This is the distance between the directrix and the vertex. And we substitute all of those in to the parabola equation. Y minus k equals 1 over 4p times x minus h squared, and then the last step we simplify it into vertex form. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. All right, hopefully that's not confusing. Let's go to the examples. All right, so if we look, this first one says, write the equation for the parabola with a focus of 3, 1. So that's right here. And a directrix of y equal to -5. So -5 is down here. This is our focus. And we can find our vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix. So that would be right there. That's our vertex. It opens up around the focus. Excuse me. And so now we can go to work on figuring out what the actual equation is. When we're graphing, I just want to see focus, vertex, directrix, and then that you open around. I don't care if your parabola looks perfect when it comes to these kinds. So our vertex now is at 3, -2. 3, -2. Our p-value, so if we look, our p-value is starting at here, up. So it's +3 from the directrix up to the vertex, +3. So p-value is 3, h-value is 3, and the k-value is -2. And we're just going to plug those in. So y minus -2 equals 1 over 4 times p, which is 3, times x minus h, x minus 3, the quantity squared. So that becomes y plus 2 equals 1 over 12 times x minus 3 squared. And our final step, we take that 2 over. And so we have y equals 1 over 12 times x minus 3 squared minus 2. So if you notice, now we moved 3 to the right and 2 down, and that puts us right there at our vertex. All right, number 2. What is the equation for a quadratic with a vertex of 0, 2 and a directrix of y equals 7 up here? So we know our vertex. The vertex, if you remember, is halfway between the directrix and the focus. So that means we're moving down. P is down 5, and so we have to go down 5 more to find our focus. Here's our vertex, and then our vertex opens around our focus. So our vertex we were given is 0, 2. Our p-value, because we went from directrix to the vertex, is -5. H is 0, K is 2. And now we'll plug all those in. So we have y minus 2 equals 1 over 4 times p, which is -5, times x minus h, x minus 0 squared. So y minus 2 equals -1 over 20 times x squared. And our last step, we move this 2 over. So y equals -1 over 20 x squared plus 2. So you can see our transformations were up 2, reflected across the x-axis, opens down, and it's compressed by 1 over 20. And finally, our last one is a little bit different. So we have our vertex at 5, 4. And we have our focus at 7, 4. What does that mean? That means our graph opens sideways because it always opens around it. Where should our directrix be? If there's 2 between the vertex and focus, the vertex is always in the middle, so the directrix is over here at x equals 3. That's our directrix. So from here to the vertex is +2, so our p-value is 2. We were given our vertex as 5, 4. So that means h is 5 and k is 4. Now, if you'll notice, we have a different equation for the parabola because it's sideways. So now the x minus h and the y minus k's flip. So x minus h is on the left now, so x minus 5 equals 1 over 4 times p, 4 times 2, times y minus k, y minus 4 squared. So x minus 5 equals 1 over 8 times y minus 4 squared. And our final step, move the 5 over. X equals 1/8 times y minus 4 squared plus 5. So now, if you're thinking x's lie, well, when we're going sideways, it flips. Whatever is being squared inside the parentheses, so now the y values lie. So that -4 means we shifted up 4. The +5 goes to the horizontal, so that means we move right 5 to find our vertex. And you can also see this is not a function when it opens up sideways. So we will not use these very often. All right, hopefully that makes it simpler for you and you can understand what's going on.